but let's talk about the very beginning of Survivor Series. It's the highly anticipated match of the night for me in terms of the backstage heat, the drama behind the scenes, and quite frankly, the outstanding interview work from Becky Lynch this week, hitting the New York market, going on radio, hitting the press, talking about her animosity and real life beef with Charlotte Flair, blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. A lot of deep-rooted issues here, but it made for a compelling match to watch because these two are two of my favorite ladies to ever do it in WWE. They have amazing chemistry. And Scott, I want you to give your thoughts on this particular matchup, which really set the tone for the evening, at least in the beginning.
So the one thing I really just loved off the bat was they didn't come in and grab a hold. They didn't come in with a headlock. They went right into a fight. The beginning of this match was a straight up fight. And you could tell, you know, as much as they kept it professional, there was some, when they laid them shots in, they were laying them in to make sure they were felt. And I thought the first 5 minutes of this match were just spectacular. Great energy. It felt a little bit more compelling, and there was a little bit more realism to this one than some of the other matches we saw later on that night. And, you know, there was a promo Becky cut after the match, and you could tell how personal this kind of really was. And you could really feel that in the match. Like, you could feel the animosity between them, where they were really not only trying to lay it in, but showing each other, like, I am still the best wrestler. Like, I'm still the best performer in this company, and I'm going to show you in this match, and I'm going to make sure everybody else around here shows you, or everybody else in this arena knows it and sees it. And I think that lends to what you said and why they have such good chemistry. It's because as much as animosity as they have, their goal is still to create the best match possible. And I thought they had a great match. Really weak finish. I get what they were going for. It was a one-upsmanship. You had two heels going in to begin with, even though I thought Becky cut a great babyface promo on Raw to lead up into this match. A great video package leading into this match as well. This had a real big-time feel, and the crowd was with it. The crowd was ready for it. I thought the middle of the match, there was enough and there was enough heat between the two as far as just the way they were going at each other. And I think Charlotte Flair, man, people can say whatever they want about her. Charlotte Flair can put on a good match with absolutely, I mean, she can put on a great match with just about anybody on the roster. And that's not a knock on Becky, but I mean, we talk about Charlotte Flair putting on good matches or compelling matches all the time. It's Charlotte Flair is always involved, and people knock her because they say she's shoved down our throats, and that may be true, but she is so talented. Like, she can literally do anything in the ring. She lifted up Becky on a one-arm powerbomb like it was nothing. Like, she can do anything. She's incredible. Like, I thoroughly enjoy watching Charlotte Flair wrestle. So I don't take any of that for granted. Just fantastic match, but the finish was really weak. I hope this isn't the last we see of this, but I don't really see how they go back to it unless one of them wins the Rumble, which they don't need. But great match, weak finish.
Absolutely agree. It was a great match, a so-so finish with both of them trying to cheat to gain the advantage, and Becky Lynch grabs the ropes and the tights to win over Charlotte Flair. And it was a very heated battle throughout. I love the beginning of them scrapping and fighting for position and booting each other in the back of the head. And that shot Charlotte took to the face, courtesy of Becky Lynch's boot, was amazing. It was a stiff shot, and it made it feel more realistic. The forearm shots, the chops, the slaps, several points in this match. It was slapping the hell out of each other, and I dug it. Charlotte Flair going for moonsaults on Becky Lynch for near falls, Becky going for the armbar, and them going for each other's finishers was also a great touch. And the best part of the match was when Becky Lynch locked in a variation of the figure four leg lock, and she says, "Tap out, bitch." And she's slapping Charlotte. Charlotte's fighting back. It was a great moment that added that drama and intensity that we sorely needed for this bout, because all the hype was around that infamous belt drop last month on SmackDown, which was highly unprofessional. And we talked about it extensively, but crazily enough, things that happen out of pocket produces some of the great moments in WWE via this match. And I would be remiss if I don't mention the fact that both ladies looked absolutely spectacular last night. Charlotte Flair, Love the little nod to China with the outfit and Becky Lynch looking amazing in red. Just everything they did, the good and evil, that you really couldn't tell which was which because of the color pattern, but you really dug how they worked together to really produce a great match despite the finish. And I honestly don't know where they go from here. After Becky won, she cut a very emotional promo that was not seen on the television show. They put it on WWE.com. And it was a very emotional interview about how she felt about competing against Charlotte Flair, beating her and regretting the fact that she couldn't break her arm in the process. And there was some real mixed work feelings in there. She's an actress by trade before being a wrestler, so she could have worked those waterworks for effect as well. But whatever they're going through in life, I really hope they come to an understanding one day, maybe when their careers are done, that maybe you got to step away and refocus on what went wrong in this friendship, because I loved their bond together. And despite their animosity and despite their heat, they produce magic together. The chemistry is unreal. And that was on full display last night. So I don't know if we got to have Oprah do a sit down interview, a red table talk of some sort to get them together once again, because whenever the Four Horsewomen documentary drops on Peacock in the next 4 or 5 years, it's going to be a fascinating 10-part documentary covering their careers, especially the chapters revolving the friendship, the demise, and hopefully reconciliation between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, right? Because like you said, they create this kind of magic, and you know, if this is what it's going to take for them to keep that magic, then let them keep this little animosity for now. You know, let them keep this rivalry going on. I honestly think there's probably going to be a little bit of closure after this match. I mean, after you go in there and lay into somebody and just really put your body on the line, because at the end of the day, they're still trusting each other with their bodies. You know what I mean? So I think there has to be at least some type of closure. You know, this is just like if you get in a fight with somebody after the fight, like especially, you know, at least how it used to be, you would get in a fight and that would be the end of it. You know, you'd be like, all right, that's it. It's over with. We done with it. And that would be it. And I have to feel like there has to be a little bit of that after this match, because it was a physical match.
It really was. It was a little bit of like a lot of hate, but I think there's a twinge of love, because as you mentioned, you are still trusting this person with your body, with your life in a lot of ways. And this could have went sideways quickly, but the trust is still there. And thank goodness for that, which means in wrestling and in life, there is hope for something of some sort of reconciliation between the two someday. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but to me, I love their friendship, but sometimes friendships are for a season, and sometimes its meaningfulness and its specialness comes and goes. But let them know that last night they did that, and they did it so well, and it was easily the highlight of the show.